Hello, welcome to the Cold Hard Facts on Sex Habits. I'm Jenny Kay, and if you're not interested in learning how to increase, maintain, or regain your strength naturally, then this video isn't for you. Today is part 3 of the 5-part Golden Hand Syndrome series, and today I'm going to be addressing habit number 2 out of 4 habits that you need to be aware of so that you don't acquire Golden Hand Syndrome. Now, to refresh your memory, Golden Hand Syndrome is the inability or the difficulty to release with anyone other than yourself. The second cold hard fact that you need to know is that no more than 25% of your releases can be done by you, and that means that for every one time you release, you need help the other 3 times. In over 35 years of research, I have found that over 88% of men have more than 25% of their releases taken care of by themselves. I've also found that 82% of men take care of more than 90% of their releases. Going from 90% to 25% of your releases being done by yourself doesn't happen overnight. The best way to handle it is to start and reach for a goal of 50-50, which means for every one time you take care of it, you have helped the other time. And get to a point where you do 50-50 for a minimum of 3 months. Once you've had 3 months of a track record, then you can go down into 33-66, which means for every one time you do it, somebody else does it twice. And stay at that for about 3 months again. Now, some people are okay and satisfied with the 33%. Ideally, 25% is what you want. But I would try to go ahead and get down to that 25%. Get yourself a calendar, keep track of it, and for every one time you take care of yourself, put an S on that date for self. If you have help, put an H for help. So you can keep track of what your schedule is. You'll start with 50-50, and then you'll go down to 33-66, and then from there you can go into really working on making sure that for every one time you take care of yourself, you really do have somebody else taking care of it the other 3 times. And then once you get to that point and you maintain that, you're going to realize that if you go back to that other schedule and you go back up to 33-66 or go back up to 50-50, you're going to notice changes. And just like you'll notice it going back up, you'll notice it coming down. When you're at a 90-10 ratio and you're taking care of yourself 90% of the time, when you start getting a 50-50 ratio, you start noticing nice changes in your body. You're starting to notice a little bit better maintaining. You're starting to notice a lot of different things. But you want to really get to the 50-50 point first. Then you can work on the 33-66, and then you can go down to 25-75. And it really does make a huge difference when you keep track of it. When you keep a book or a calendar and you chart when you actually release and how it's done, it is amazing how you'll start to see that, it's not as difficult as one would think. And you do need to keep on the schedule every 3 months. You need to make sure that for that first 3 months, you're at a 50-50. Then you go down to 33-66 and then 25-75. And it becomes easier with time. But of all the habits, of the 4 habits that I'm addressing in this entire series, this is the most difficult one. And the reason it's the most difficult one is because you need a partner. You have to work with somebody. And when I say you get help, what I mean is at that point of no return. When you are at that point of no return, your hand is not touching yourself. You have no contact at all with yourself at that point of no return. And that is key. I also want to mention that what you don't want to do is you're thinking, well, 25.75 for every one time I take care of it, somebody else takes care of it 3 times. Well, gee, I'll go ahead and take care of it 3 times this week, and then I'll be seeing my wife because I'll be back home, and then we'll go ahead and make up the difference and we'll have 9 times. Well, that's not the idea. That's great and that's fine, but you're going to see better results if you space it out to make sure that it's a 1-to-3 ratio. And what you want to do is also find other ways to relieve stress. When you get stressed out and you're thinking the only way to release that stress is to take care of yourself, find other ways. If you haven't had help and you're not ready to go ahead and make it so that you stick to your schedule, then find another way to release the stress. And this, short-term situation where you've got to deal with it will pay off long-term big time. Huge. Thank you for allowing me to help you retrain your body and make a difference in your life. If you have found any information in this video that's been helpful to you, you may know of someone who would also benefit by it, please share the information. Also, you definitely want to hit subscribe because our next episode is the 3rd habit that you need to let go of, and it's truly a game changer. You will love it, and it will make a huge difference in your life in many areas, and I can't wait to get into it. So have a blessed day. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.